Hello everyone, I wish I could say that this was going to be a fun and funny and entertaining video, however it is not. It's going to be a very serious video and I'm probably going to cry throughout making this, however it is a topic that needs to be addressed. This topic is not going to be easy to talk about because it affects so many people and so many families and so many loved ones around the world, and that topic is cancer. However, we're going to focus on the people who are faking cancer for money or social media clout or anything in their life in general. These people are absolutely disgusting. I have a dear friend who is currently losing a battle against stage 4 glioblastoma, which is also known as the butterfly. Glioblastoma, also known as glioblastoma multiforme, is an aggressive and malignant type of brain tumor that originates in the glial cells, which are the supportive cells in the brain and spinal cord. These tumors are classified as grade 4 gliomas, the most severe and rapidly growing type of glioma. The biggest one that we know, quite literally, is Boogie 2988 when he faked polycythemia vera. Now, if you've been under a rock or don't know what polycythemia vera is, it's basically a blood disorder that comes from a genetic mutation of the JAK2 gene, which causes the overproduction of red blood cells. But enough about Boogie, because everyone knows what kind of piece of shit he is. Today, I want to focus on a lesser known woman who started a GoFundMe to raise money for the cancer that she never had. Her name is Madison Russo.
A TikTok creator faked cancer and scammed hundreds of people. Let's talk about it. This is 19-year-old Madison Russo of Eldridge, Iowa, and in October of last year, she revealed that she'd been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer 8 months prior. She claimed she had a football-sized tumor wrapped around her spine. She started making TikToks about her journey and also made really long posts on Facebook about her struggle. A GoFundMe was eventually launched, and it raised over $37,000 by over 400 donors. She was a guest speaker at her university, she spoke at conferences, she gave interviews, and she even appeared on a podcast. But it didn't take long for people to notice that something wasn't right. And then police got a hold of her medical records. She did not have cancer or anything that she claimed. So on January 23rd, she was arrested while in class at her university. She's been charged with a Class C felony. Authorities seized a bunch of things, including her wig. A person named Thomas Bolin posted her $10,000 bond. He's also the same person that organized the GoFundMe. All the donors have been refunded. Now,
obviously, I don't have to tell you why this is atrocious because cancer affects so many people across the world. Personally, my grandfather died when I was 6. I don't have very many memories of him. However, I still feel the loss of him. However, the case of cancer that really affects me is watching the slow deterioration of the mental state of one of my good or best friends. She is a channel supporter and has really been here for a long time. Her name is Lina Fujimura. She is one of the world's leading authorities on all things Japan. Basically, if you want to know anything about Japan, she either knows it or has forgotten it. Watching her slowly lose her facilities or mental state has been extremely difficult. This was a woman that was fluent in 3 different languages, and now she struggles to remember words in those languages because of where the tumor is in her brain. And this hits so hard to me because she is so close to me. I've cried multiple times and it's so hard to deal with, and she's just a fucking warrior, and it pisses me off that people like this fake this. It's so infuriating. Now, we all know that content creators are infamous for their bullshit apologies that they give because they're not sorry that they did it, they're sorry that they got caught doing it. And today I wanted to take a look at Madison Russo's apology that she gave while she was on trial for her crimes.
Your Honor, first and foremost, I want to thank the court for the opportunity to speak today in front of you all. I have not spoken this entire time while my case was ongoing for several reasons.
Personally, my opinion on the reason that she hasn't spoke out about this is because she is a bitch, she is a liar of the highest order, and no one would believe her anyway. So Madison Russo, get fucked.
So this is difficult to talk about, but I'm just gonna try my best. This experience, has been by far one of the most difficult things to navigate in my life.
The great part about this is that the trial is one of the most difficult experiences she's ever had to navigate in her life, but she had no problem learning how to edit videos. She had no problem coming up with video ideas on how to fake and prove her cancer. Madison, I don't believe your tears. I don't believe your words. Personally, I would believe Satan before I believed you. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about this, Drake wrote a song about this thing specifically, which is kind of weird because Drake doesn't have cancer. However, it goes, started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now I'm in court crying tears over a fake cancer that I don't really have. It's kind of sad. It's making me mad that I don't know.
It has been very scary and challenging in more ways than one. I fully acknowledge that what I did was wrong, and I am incredibly sorry.
Again, she's not sorry that she did it. She's sorry that she got caught. In my opinion, you don't set up a ring light, set up a video editing app, go into TikTok and post a video and be like, oh, you know what? I got cancer. Yep, I got cancer. Who knew? Who knew? Now the world does. Hey guys, sorry for the interruption, fourth wall break here. While I was editing this video, I did want to take a second to talk about my own personal disability, which is known as micropenesia. And basically what that is I have a tiny penis. I mean, have you seen a baby carrot? Smaller. Have you seen a baby shrimp? Smaller. You know the shrimp that they put in the packages of ramen noodles? Like that size, like dehydrated. So, I'm gonna start a GoFundMe for it. Please feel free to donate.
If there was anything I could do to take it back, I would. The reality is that I can't. The only thing I can do is correct it, learn from it, and move forward.
Now, in my opinion, forward is not a direction that I think she should be allowed to travel. Personally, I don't think she should be allowed to travel at all. She deserves jail time. Hard jail time. As a matter of fact, don't even apologize because you are wasting the air of people who are not trash human beings. This isn't something small like, oops, I accidentally ran over your dog. This is cold and calculated. You had a plan and you set that plan in motion. You know what you did. You absolutely know what you did and you should not be forgiven for it. Personally, I think you should be canceled and lose your job. Then again, technically she did get jail time. She got a 10-year suspended sentence with 3 years of probation. Basically a slap on the wrist. I don't know if that's pretty privilege. I don't know if that's white privilege, but whatever privilege that is, I fucking need it. I need it real bad right now.
I beat myself up about it the whole last year in silence because I didn't know how to tell anybody what was going on.
Honestly, it's kind of surprising because I do this all the time. Madison, I will teach you. Hello, my name is James Green. I am a piece of shit with a small penis. It's nice to meet you.
After January, I have continually beat myself up about it as well. I realize that I can't undo the past, but that doesn't mean that I still can't walk away from this experience as a better human and move forward.
Honestly, the only way that she should be walking away from this is with a fucking ball and chain attached to her leg. She shouldn't be allowed to walk. She shouldn't. This is not fair. This is not fair to people that have been locked up for longer for less.
My goal now is to make amends in the ways I can, try to learn from my mistakes, figure out how I got myself here so I don't repeat this terrible mistake, and do what I can to turn this lesson into a positive.
Which in my opinion means she's going to look at her miscalculations and learn to update them so she can run a better grift the next time. Do you guys know why I talk about all of my fucking problems with open and honest transparencies? Because I'm not a fucking liar. When I say something, I mean it. And when I mean it, I stand 10 toes down on it. If I said it and it was wrong, then you know what? I might apologize for it. However, I can't change the past. The past has made me who I am, and the past has made her who she is.
With the hope that I can make amends and hopefully positively influence the many people touched by my poor choices, cancer, or people mistakenly thinking about following in a similar mistaken path.
There are a couple things that I take away from what she just said. One being she wants to influence people, aka manipulate people into believing what she believes. The other one being that she believes that there are people that are going to go down this mistaken path. Those people are not people. They're fucking monsters. People don't do this. You are a monster if you do this.
A lot of people have made speculation as to why I did this and how somebody who looked like they had everything together could have such a mess. I didn't do this for money or greed. I didn't do this for attention. I did this in an attempt to try and get my family back together.
I didn't do this for money or for greed or for attention. That's why I started a GoFundMe and documented a whole fake diagnosis online for the world to see so you could gain the attention of everyone. Don't fucking lie to me, Madison. Don't you dare fucking lie to me. I just wanted to get my family back together. Have you thought of therapy? Maybe there is a reason that your family departed in the first place. Maybe, just maybe, it was you.
I come from an extremely broken and separated family ever since I was 2 years old.
In America, about 40 to 50% of marriages end in divorce, which means a lot of people come from broken homes, which does not give you an excuse to start a TikTok account and fake a cancer diagnosis. I myself come from an extremely fractured home with no father and an addict mother, but I have never once thought of using my charisma or my charm or my intelligence to go out and manipulate people and fake a cancer diagnosis just for money and attention. Which, excuse me. You said that's not what it's for, so my bad.
Over the years, it has gotten steadily worse, and a lot has happened internally to our family. A family is supposed to be one that's drawn together, not drift further and further apart. I was always told that, quote, I was the only one that could fix it, and I have tried for years. Nothing was working, and I kept pulling for everybody to be a normal, functioning, loving, supportive family.
The problem she has here is she doesn't understand what a functioning, normal, supportive family is because she is not a functioning, normal, and supportive person. She is a predator preying on your empathy. The only semblance of grace that I will give this monster is that she is young and doesn't quite understand the sacrifice that it takes to hold a family together, because I didn't either, because I never had an example of what that was. My ex and I both came from extremely dysfunctional, broken homes as children where we didn't have an example of what a healthy family dynamic is, and we decided to come together and make a child. When you grow up in that toxic environment, all you know is that toxicity, and that leaks through every aspect of your being. I am not a good person. I am a shitty fucking person. Now that I've stepped away from the situation, I can see the error of my ways. I can't apologize for it. I can't, because that person is who I was at the time. Now that I've entered into a healthy relationship, I have a drastically different viewpoint. I'm going to therapy and I am working on myself. So to that special lady in my life, thank you so much for being there and helping me understand where I lack and what aspects of my life I need to work on.
I thought if I said what I said, it would make everybody pull together. It didn't work, and it only got worse. After that happened, I didn't know what to do.
I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret that's going to change your life. This is how I think. If I try something and it doesn't work, I try something else. Actually, I try the opposite of what I tried the first time, because clearly the first intuition that I had did not work. So let me try something the polar opposite. And if that works, then I'm going to update my framework with that. Because the definition of stupidity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. If you want different results, do something differently. Also, if you're in a sinking life raft, you don't call your buddy that's next to you in the fucking sinking life raft for help. You call a fucking Coast Guard. You call a therapist. Call somebody that is a professional, and do not disregard what they have to say, because they are trained to give their perspective. They have seen this over and over again. That's why they are in that field. They have studied. They have access to more information that we do not have. Trust the professional.
I couldn't tell anybody, and too many people knew already. From here, it all went downhill, and it snowballed quickly and hard. The way I went about this was not right, and I wish I would have sought out help regarding my family before making this immature decision. I was 18 years old and I was a freshman in college when it took place. I'm young and I don't know it all. I was not being rational.
I do not believe this for a second. People do not get this good at emotionally manipulating people out of money unless they have practiced it. I love psychology because it helps me understand something that I don't really understand, the human experience, what the majority of people understand, because I've always been the outcast. I've always been on the social fringe. Yes, I was popular. Yes, I was a chameleon. Yes, I could blend in, but I never felt like I belonged. However, that does not give me the right to take the information that I learned to understand how people work and defend myself from emotional and mental manipulation to exploit other people out of their precious time, their assets, their valuables, everything. That is not what a good person does.
I have learned a lot from this experience, and I want to take this bad moment in my life and turn around and do good for society. I want this to reach an audience to say that it is okay if you are struggling and you need help. It is not a sign of weakness to say that you need help with something and you're not okay.
You see, the devil is a liar because he or she or it or they, I don't know, it's an entity from a different dimension. They know the Bible better than any pastor that's ever studied the Bible. And what she is doing is reading from a script that was carefully crafted to play on your emotions for the outcome that she wants. This isn't from the heart. She thought about this. Her lawyer thought about this and approved it. This isn't from the heart. This is scripture. However, what she's saying isn't totally wrong. It is okay to ask for help when you need help. However, she knew she needed help and she didn't do it. There is no excuse for that. Zero excuse. Lock her up. She doesn't belong in society. If it's me, you know what? I fucked up. Give me the consequences of my actions. I'm not going to try to obfuscate what I did to get out of the ramifications that come with it.
I wish I wouldn't have done this a long time ago. It is also a reminder that everybody is silently battling something and you never know what is going on in somebody's life. Let this be a reminder to give each other more grace and compassion. Some might say I looked like I had it all together. I didn't. Instead, I had a situation I was stuck in a family that was, well, about as far from family as it can get.
Notice how you hear excuse after excuse after excuse. I was young. I was naive. I didn't know what I was doing. My family was broken. Never once did I hear her say, you know what, I fucked up. Let me make amends. Let me do the right thing. Give me my time. Let me serve that what the society that I live in has deemed acceptable for me to serve. When I stood in front of the judge, I said I fucked up. I apologized for it and I took the consequences of my actions because that's what a fucking man does. That's what a person of good moral standing and composure does. That's what we do. That's what we do. If I said it, I meant it. At the time, at least, I maybe learned that I was wrong when I said it, and then I take that information and again, update my framework. However, I am not shirking my responsibility or the consequences of my actions that lead to a negative impact on my life just to get out of something.
I had deep wounds I never learned how to heal from little on. I'm not afraid to admit that because it meant I finally learned how to heal from the inside out and realize that I am not God. I can't fix everything that is not in my control. All I can do is be a better version of myself every day.
See, Madison, this is where you got it wrong. You don't need to be a better version of yourself because the version of yourself that you are right now is a lying, manipulative bitch. You need to be a version of someone else. You need to take a person that you look up to, no, actually not that you look up to, that everyone else looks up to, and be that person. Try being that person before you become a better version of a lying, manipulative bitch.
Step by step, I have taken big steps to grow and learn from my choices and the things that have gotten me here. I have been engaged in counseling, and I plan to continue. I've also continued working. I am set to finish college in May and start an exciting new chapter in my career that I feel fortunate to have.
You shouldn't be allowed to finish college. You shouldn't be allowed to have a career and live a normal human life. You are a shitty person that did something so vile and disgusting that people who actually have cancer are breaking down and messaging me about it. What you should do is serve that 10-year jail sentence and take your fucking responsibility, because there are people that are felons that came out of jail, reformed, and did good in the community that still don't have their rights back in society, and that is fucked up that you do. What you should do is what the young kids call these days, hold these L's. I understand that this one is backwards, so we're gonna flip this. Hold these L's. That's what you need to do. Accept the accountability for your actions.
In the future, I want to go back to school and get my master's. But most importantly, I want to create my own family someday. I want to break this cycle of how I grew up. And I wanted to make a family that I wish I had. One full of love, belongingness, support, cheerful gatherings at holidays and celebrations, and a cohesive unit.
You don't want a family, you want a fucking fairy tale. You want an idealized version of what a family actually is, because I guarantee you that any man that marries you is going to have a horrible fucking life, because you're going to continue the cycle of emotional and mental manipulation onto him and your children, because you don't actually want to get better. Because if you did want to get better, you would be responsible for your actions. This is a lie. This is a sham. Miss me with that shit.
God willing, I pray for this. I also pray for all of those that were hurt by my irrational decision. I pray for the damage that has resulted from my actions and any harm or disrespect I caused or showed to anyone battling cancer, touched by cancer, or fighting to help people with cancer or other medical issues.
The last thing you need to pray to is your God, because your God sucks. My God tells me not to do this shit because my natural nature is to do something like this. However, I talk to myself. I pray to myself to make sure that I am a better person for tomorrow. Okay? I don't pray to a deity out there. Fuck all of them. Fuck all of them, because none of them are willing to come in, put the fucking work in that I have to put in to make myself better. There is no one. There is no one. You're the fucking director, dictator, course corrector of your own life. There is no higher being coming to save you. It's all on you. But, you know, God's got me. It's God's plan. Actually, Drake wrote that song, so.
Your Honor, I'm a good kid. I know I am still a good person.
First of all, you are not a child. The day that you turned 18, society said, I think that you are deemed to accept the responsibilities and consequences of your actions. That made you an adult. You were not a kid. You were not a good kid. If you were a kid, you'd be a very, very bad kid. A very bad kid. You are not a good person because your actions make you who you are, and your actions are shitty. That means you're a shitty fucking person.
I have a lot to give to this world, and I don't give up. I would do anything to take back what I did.
You would give up anything to go back so you could avoid the consequences, is what you're actually telling me, because there are people that have gone to jail because they stepped up and they said, I did that shit, that are not afforded the same privileges that you are. You're a liar. You are a lying, manipulative bitch. I hate calling you a bitch because that's not even what you are. That is disrespect to the bitches out there. Bitches, I apologize.
Again, I am so terribly sorry. This is something that I will have to live with for the rest of my life when I look at myself in the mirror. But I know it doesn't define me. It's not what mistakes we have done that determine our character, but instead how we respond to them.
You see, what she did is not make a mistake. She made multiple mistakes that led to a pattern of mistakes. One time is forgivable. The second post, unforgivable. That's done. Guilty immediately. Maybe if you're working on it and struggling through it and actually doing these steps to get help, maybe you forgive it. Maybe you give that person grace. However, you were not, because you didn't, because you didn't want to. If she wanted to, she would.
And how we move forward from them in the future that shows our true character and resilience. My future gives me hope, and I am determined to make it the best I can. I ask for forgiveness and a second chance.
You don't deserve a second chance. You've had multiple second chances to be a better person, and you have not displayed the character that it takes to be a better person. Personally, I hope the doctors figure out how to make cancer and then give you cancer. I think the crime should fit the punishment, an eye for an eye. That was my take on Madison Russo's apology. I can't stand her. She makes my skin crawl. I am disgusted right now. My stomach is turning. I actually hate her. I had to stop and go outside because I was getting so fucking angry. So fucking angry. I know I fucked up in the past. I know you fucked up in the past. Everybody has fucked up in the past, but what makes us different and defines who we are is how we react to that. I stand up and take accountability. You probably stand up and take accountability. That's why you're here. With all of that being said, I'm going to wrap the video up right here. Thank you to all the supporters that have been with me on this journey, watching me fuck up and fix it. Yeah, thank you all for being here. Madison Russo, welcome to the fucking petting zoo.